Okay, so we're back to the last level. I skipped this one, but we're coming back to it because it's the last thing we have to do to fight the final master. And he's going to tell us what we have to do to beat him. So, this is basically a clone of the last level that I was just in, except it's a little bit easier because it's the first one instead of the last one. And I hope that's okay. I hope it makes it through a little bit faster. I already played this one before, and you saw me play it, so you should know how badly I failed at it as a human being and as a human boy. But we're back to the level, and we're gonna play it. We're gonna beat it, and I'm not gonna do the bonus round because that's a waste of time. I'm not trying to get all the gems or whatever. I'm not crazy. I would never do something like that because that would take up too much of our time, and our time is valuable together because we don't get to spend more than 10 days together. Our time is valuable because we don't get to spend more than 10 minutes a day together. And I apologize for stuttering so bad. I'm like a stuttering Stanley. I'm like a stuttering donkey man. So, without further ado, I think I've got this one. Okay, I'm not sure where that happened, but whatever. As long as I can get a checkpoint, I'm okay with whatever. It's all the same thing to me, ladies and gentlefolk. So, we're going to jump on these scrubbing bubbles and get the checkpoint gem and get the crystal crevice, the Lenny Kravitz, and keep on skidding our way to freedom. So, we're going to do this, do that. I apologize so much. You know, I give Let's Plays shit when all they do is talk about what they're doing in the game, but that's all I can muster right now because I'm so tired, and I've been doing this for such a long time. This is a one playthrough game that I'm doing right now. I'm not saving. I'm not making up for lost time or whatever. I'm not. Oh! He almost tricked me. Okay, so we're gonna hit him. Honestly, if I thought that that would happen more often, then I wouldn't even be playing this game. Okay, so good. So, by the way, that is the most horrifying scream I've ever heard. That is definitely that's like the Wilhelm scream, but it's like a different name. If anybody can find what the name of that scream is and post it in the comments, I would be so grateful for that because that scream has been used in this game and in the Powerpuff Girls and in so many... Just gone. Just dead. Okay, so... 3 minutes. That's great. I wasted 3 minutes of your day. And I'm okay with that as long as you are... Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think now that I have 4 lives, I can do this real fast. So we're gonna, at least make sure we can have enough continue mans to beat this stage. I guess this is the hardest stage in the game. If you want to get the gem in this game and in every level, then you have to know that this is the hardest stage in the game because you have to do a lot of backtracking, and in most platforming games with a fixed camera perspective, backtracking is nearly damn impossible. Motherfucking whore. So this is the worst offender of backtracking in a video game platformer because it requires that you not only backtrack, I guess, but that you also have an Udabaga mask. One of those masks that when you get it goes Udabaga, ba-dum-bum. So, if you don't have that, then you might as well just give up because you're probably going to lose. What are you doing? You crazy failure. This is one of the few games where I feel like you can slide into electric bubbles without purpose. My God. Okay, so... okay. Oh, no, that is bullshit right there. That's grade A, undeniable horse bullshit motherfucker. Okay, so that guy should not have shocked me like he did. He did shock me, and he shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake on his part, on the game's part, on Naughty Dog's part. They shouldn't have let that happen. That was kind of their fault for letting something so crazy that to happen in the game. I guess I got a game over again. That is my fault completely. That one I take credit for. The past one I didn't take credit for because it was kind of bullshit. This one I died twice, which was bullshit, but the one that did me in was kind of my fault. So whatever. I'm okay with that as long as you're okay with that. Wink, 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 nudge, nudge. So, hey, yeah, we're going to go again. We're going to go again because I'm drinking Monster, by the way. We're going to go with that one again because it was this level and the boss fight that are the last ones I got to do. And once I'm done with that, then Crash Bandicoot 2 will be done forever. And we can call it, we can throw in the apron on that one, we can call it good. And, yeah, just be done with it, I guess. So, while we're waiting for that to happen, why don't I tell you another story? So, once upon a time, my mom and I went to Georgia, Atlanta, where our great aunt lives, my grandma's sister. And she was there, and we showed up at her house, and she was decorating the Christmas tree. And you'll never believe what she was doing. She was decorating the Christmas tree with green and blue lights. And if that's not the grossest holiday-like combination color you've ever heard before, then you do not know what it's like to have a great-grandma who doesn't know what interior decoration should be like. So I was really big into playing The Sims when I was younger. I like to build houses, and I like to so I didn't like to play the game that much as I did like to build houses. And my friends would always be like, hey, well, SparkleDart, can you build my house for me? And I'd be like, well, sure, I can do that. But you got to pay me like $10 to do that because I'm not going to do it for free. It's really hard to build a house. It takes me like 5 hours to build a good house on The Sims. And they'd be like, well, that's fine as long as you do it and I'm okay with how it turns out. And I'm like, well, no, you have to pay me regardless of how it turns out, because if you don't, then what's the point of me spending all this time building your house? And they'd be like, well, that's a good point, so I guess I'll pay you no matter what you do. And at that point, they're like, well, that's absolutely wonderful. I guess we can work with that because I'm your friend, and I know that even if I can't pay you now, I will still be okay with paying you the $17 later when I finally do get the money to pay you for the house that you're building me on The Sims. And so then they'd be like, yeah, okay, well, that's great. We're best friends, and I will pay you for whatever your time is worth. They know my time is worth, and they know that I don't like to screw around. They know that I don't like to build houses for no reason on The Sims, especially if they're just gonna, pardon me, move in one of the starting NPC families into the house, like the Goths or whatever, the Gothics or whatever they're called, the ones that come with The Sims 1. Bella Goth and Tiffany Goth and Elizabeth Goth and Adam Goth. So I'm tiny now, that's great. The Goth family, I'm sorry. So we're back at that. So I was playing The Sims 3 and my friend was, he's a man of regal taste. So I built him a house where everything was made of solid gold, including his bed sheets and mirrors. And that doesn't really make sense to have a mirror made of solid gold, I don't think, but he was okay with that, and the Sim didn't seem to have a problem with that either, even though the Sim was a police officer, and police officers don't tend to have things that are made of solid gold unless they themselves are crooked, and if he was housing a crooked Sim, I guess that's kind of my fault for playing into his whole charade, if you will, but, I mean, he was a nice guy. I didn't like to push his buttons or anything, and he certainly never got on my bad side for any reason, but he wasn't very good at building houses. Now, I was the guy who built the houses, like I said. I would always pick the expensive, on The Sims 3, I would always pick the house on the expensive lot near the waterfall, and that's where I would build my house all the time, and he would always try to buy that house, even though it would always cost him upwards of like $10,000, or $100,000. I don't know how much the houses cost on The Sims 3, but I'm sure they don't scale appropriately to houses in real life, if you catch my drift. So he would always buy that house, and I built this one house this one time that basically, okay, so what I did was I built a 5-story wall around the entire property, and I built a bunch of cubicles, floating cubicles that were connected by walkways and stairs, and then I deleted the floating stairs. Okay, so I got laughed at. That's really rude of you, N-head. This is my last chance, by the way. Don't have another chance after this. So, he always begged me to build a house on the waterfall front property, which I believe was zoned for a residential or a commercial building before I always took it over and put like pets on there or whatever the Sims expansion pack was at the time, because they always had new expansion packs coming out, even for The Sims 3, which didn't include aliens from the start, but it added aliens later, and the servo robots from the first Sims game, and Drew Carey from the Sims House Party, which was a good game, especially with pardon me. I failed again. I failed again. And, okay, so. Yes, Cortex, yes, I will continue. So, The Sims 1 had a lot of expansion packs that they could never capitalize on in the future because they were always just so underwhelming compared to the ones that they had in The Sims 1. Like The Sims Living Lodge and House Party. Living Lodge included a genie and a Grim Reaper and a servo robot, all of which you could download skins for to like have your sim like be one of those sims. Like you could have a sim that was the Grim Reaper or the servo robot or the depressed genie or the sad clown or whatever, and you could just do it that way and then have all sorts of fun. You know, you could like pretend you were Drew Carey or the Eurotrash sims that you could download, and then you could play those families and nobody would ever know the difference. And then in The Sims 2 they had your male sims could get pregnant with robot childs, which was pretty weird, and I guess not the most unprecedented thing I've ever seen before, but it was kind of weird to have that. And they had the antisocial bunny, which would talk to depressed sims. Like if you had your sim live alone, he would always come and talk to depressed sim and be like, well, hey sim, so I'm going to talk to you with the depressed bunny and you can watch me on TV. He was on the TV channel at some points too. But if you never had your sim talking on like AIM chat or going downtown to talk to the pet food guys or the whatever else, it was always a mess, a disaster, whatever. We're after Luke Skywalker, we're after. Oh, that's adorable. You see the Naughty Dog sign on the Cortex Vortex. So, I guess we're done with Crash Bandicoot 2. It was a fun ride, I guess. I had a lot of fun talking to you about the Army and Crash Bandicoot 2 and, board games and Nickelodeon. And it was just a hoot and a holler. And I think that we can do this again sometime real soon if you're interested. I mean, I'm always here. I'm a good friend for you and for my friends and for my family. And I'd just like to thank you for watching my videos if you're doing that. If you're not doing that, then that's completely understandable, because I can't be here to twist your arm, make you watch my videos. They're not that good, obviously, if you're not watching them. If you're not watching my videos, that's your own thing. I'm not here to judge you for that, because that's, everybody has different taste, everybody has different style, and, Let's Plays are definitely a diamond dozen, a dog-eat-dog world, a dog-eat-dog world. I will not take them for granted. See what I'm doing here? It's jokes. Jokes! So, thank you for watching. Mwah. If you watched the whole thing, I sincerely apologize for what you saw just now. And, yeah, thank you much. Mwah. Goodbye.